Hi, I'm Becky, and I'm not a naturally fertile woman. Before I got married, the difficulties of having children of my own never occurred to me. But the day I discovered that this wasn't necessarily my fault, well, that was one of the best days of my life. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story because it might be very similar to your own. Now, it doesn't matter if you haven't been able to have children for the last few months or for the last several years, because what I'm going to show you are some lesser known techniques that have been backed up by solid research to produce amazing results. But I warn you, this video might not be up for too long, so please watch the whole video, and I'll reveal the solution that's helped thousands of people around the world to conceive and have healthy babies all of their own. Okay, so if you're like me, you probably know what it feels like to see all these happy couples, the ones that have beautiful and healthy children. You may see them at the park or at the grocery store or at restaurants, and you might ask yourself, why isn't that me? Years ago, all I could think about was having children of my own. It consumed me. And honestly, I was a little bit jealous of those young married couples and all their beautiful children. Now, I'll never forget the day I made friends with my neighbors, Mike and Sarah. Mike and Sarah had several children. They had their first child right out of high school, and then they had a second child, a third, a fourth, and even a fifth child. They had 5 children, and here I was desperately trying to have just one. But the strange thing I learned about Mike and Sarah is that they seemed to have a hard time not having children. This couple didn't use those fertility drugs or IVF treatments. They just naturally were able to have babies without even trying. Well, you know what I did? I told myself that this was because they had superior genetics. Well, they've got to have some special childbearing gene, and maybe I just wasn't meant to have children of my own. Now, my story may remind you of yourself or someone you know, but don't despair, because I'm here to tell you that my husband and I finally conceived on our own, a baby boy. And let me tell you, the timing couldn't have been more unpredictable. My story isn't all that unique. Thousands of other couples have had children in their old age and have had their infertility problems resolved from using simple techniques. They use lesser known techniques that no one teaches and most don't even know about. But these simple techniques are backed up by scientific research and data. So let's get right down to what you need to know. There are essentially 3 key principles that you should know. First, you need to know that infertility isn't a disease, but it is a symptom. Infertility is just a label people give you, and this may make you feel as if you're hopeless, but you're not. Infertility is really just a way your body tells you that something might be off. Having infertility may make you think you just need to change your diet or be treated with some hormone drugs. Well, these common one-dimensional treatments are not the best option. And in a moment, I'll explain exactly why. Now, the second key that you need to understand that in the West, such as in the U.S., infertility is treated much differently than it is in the East. Infertility in the West is a huge business, and it consists primarily of drugs, surgeries, and invasive techniques that can be very taxing on you physically and emotionally. Now, listen to this. One study that was published in the Journal of the American Medical Women's Association shows that women who were trying to undergo common medical fertility treatments had as much or greater stress than those that were facing a life-threatening illness. Is that shocking or what? Now, having infertility is stressful enough, but adding all of these time-consuming and taxing treatments became a major problem, because the stress responses in your body use the same system as your sex hormones do. When cortisol spikes, which is a stress hormone, it affects sex hormones. And yep, you guessed it, it affects menstruation, ovulation, and even sperm count in men. Okay, so there is one more powerful key that you should know. You need to understand that you may never get the whole truth about hormone pills, drugs, or invasive surgeries. Dr. Alan Pacey of the University of Sheffield, who is the secretary of the British Fertility Society, stated that, quote, medical infertility treatments are given too often without enough evidence that they're effective. Also, published in USA Today, Dr. L. Takei of St. Thomas Hospital stated that medical fertility interventions themselves were not as useful as we think. And another doctor and professor of reproductive medicine at the University of Aberdeen stated, we need to think long and hard about whether there's any medical justification for these treatments. Recently, several studies have been published about the long-term effect of fertility drugs. This included babies being born with physical abnormalities, premature birth, brain damage, as well as ovarian cancer. Now, if there really are natural ways to become pregnant, that's backed up by solid research, and it's much cheaper and much safer, don't you owe it to yourself to at least give it a try? Don't you owe it to your child? Now, before I go any further and tell you more about how to successfully become pregnant naturally, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine named Jenny Carson. Jenny's a nutrition specialist and a Chinese medicine researcher and author. Jenny's My Pregnancy Now system shows you the truth behind infertility and shows you how you can get pregnant within months of using her program. This program helps with both male and female-related infertility issues. This is because this program works with your body synergistically, and these techniques have been tested and tried by thousands of people worldwide. Now, Jenny knows all about traditional Chinese medicine, and in her book, she talks about how one study showed that female infertility patients that had tried certain herbs doubled pregnancy rates within a 4-month time frame. Jenny compiled this information into her book titled Herbs for Fertility. She shows you the different kind of herbs and shows you how to use them to target different problem areas, whether it be age, endometriosis, or those so-called lazy ovaries, or even if your partner has a low sperm count. But that's not all. Jenny believes that those with infertility, or simply those that have a hard time having children, must use a multi-dimensional solution that's based on evidence. Another one of these dimensions is a self-fertility massage. Now listen to this. An article was published in Personal MD that involved a group of gynecologists and physical therapists. What they discovered was that infertility massages actually removed blockages and reduced adhesion in their patients. This research revealed that nearly 75% of the infertility cases had reversed tubal blockages. And blockages, by the way, are the main factor in nearly half of all couples with infertility. The reason self-massage works so well, according to the International Journal of Neuroscience, is because the vibrating effect from these massages actually increases the flow of oxygen-rich blood to the reproductive organs. And as you may know, oxygen-rich blood is what heals the body and helps the body begin its natural healing process. Learning how to do an infertility massage on yourself can be a godsend. It's important that you learn how to do these massages yourself because this way you'll be able to feel your body from the inside and out as you massage. This is something that a massage therapist simply cannot do. By learning how to do these massages on yourself, you can feel what areas need your attention. Now, Jenny includes the very valuable fertility massage audio training when you buy your program. It guides you step by step on how to locate certain organs that may need your attention and how to properly massage them. It's important to follow the instructions because it really can make all the difference. Okay, now I wanted to tell you just one more thing. There was a study done by Harvard University which examined the effects of common Western type exercises. This included things such as weight training and cardio. They compared these exercises to the Eastern type of exercises, which included mind-body techniques such as yoga. Now, what they found was that Western-style exercises, the ones that most of us do, disrupted hormone balance, and it contributed to infertility and pregnancy-related problems. But what's more is that the Eastern-type exercises actually had the opposite effect. For example, certain yoga practices showed that they not only increased oxygen-rich blood to reproductive organs, but it also relaxed pelvic area muscles, stimulated the uterus and ovaries, and relieved menopausal problems in women. But it didn't stop there. These yoga poses, stretches, and breathing exercises were also shown to regulate and balance hormone levels, which led to reproductive success. One study by Harvard researcher Alice Domer revealed that 55% of infertility patients who participated in these exercises over a 10-week period conceived. Now, not only is that good information, but in Jenny's My Pregnancy Now program, they will show you exactly what these techniques are and how to do them. Included is a step-by-step downloadable video created by a certified fitness trainer. In Jenny's My Pregnancy Now ebook, she shows you many things that most women overlook on a daily basis. On page 56, she outlines the foods that you should never eat if you're trying to conceive. Some foods dramatically affect estrogen levels in women, but that's not all. She also gives you a step-by-step fertility diet specifically for pre-ovulation and a diet plan for post-ovulation. You'll also learn about the top foods that women should eat to support the development of healthy follicles so that their best egg will be released. Now, here are a few things that you can expect from Jenny's system. Become pregnant and have healthy babies with less pain and less stress involved. Eliminate hormonal-related problems. One breathing strategy outlined in her book helps to normalize hormonal production. Have more energy and look younger. Feel happier and dramatically improve your sex life. Boost oxygen-rich blood to reproductive organs. Remove tubal blockages. Improve other unrelated health conditions. No matter what causes your infertility, you can start using this incredible program right now because it is instantly downloadable.